One of the most badass phones ever released by Google happens to be the Google Pixel 8a, and I'm going to tell you guys why in this video, why this is still worth getting in 2025. I know I've made several videos on this phone, but there's a lot to like about this phone. This is a lot of phone for $499 is what it was at release, and it still continues to wow a lot of people today. Now, well, you could opt in for the Pixel 9a like I did. I know, I did. I got the Pixel 9a, and I really like the phone. Don't get me wrong. The Pixel 9a is a lot of phone for 400 bucks, or 500 bucks actually, 499. However, I will say this though. It is worth going after the Pixel 8a if you want to get cheaper. And I know people were typing about, like, why does this thing even exist? You know, we got the Pixel 8, we got the Pixel 8 Pro. Like, this does not need to be here. It's $100 less than the Pixel 8. Just get the Pixel 8. Or save $100, get the Pixel 8a. That's how I always looked at it. I look at the thing, I look at the glass as half full rather than half empty. And so, yes, there is a reason for this being here. And that is to give you just about everything the Pixel 8 was offering in the form of the 8a. The Pixel 8, polycarbonate built, nice size, not too thick, but it is a little on the thick side compared to previous Pixels. And that's because it's got a pretty decent battery. I can tell you guys, battery on this thing is so phenomenally good. It lasts me an entire day. It's almost as long as the Pixel 9a's battery life for me. Like, I can pretty much end the day with the Pixel 9a at 40%. Now 38%, and my Pixel 8a I can end the day at 35%. Same usage, same social media, same email checking, same content creating. Yes, I do use the Pixel 8a to create content. As a matter of fact, I've been using it for the past year, majority of the time as my camera. So majority of the videos I've released have been recorded with the Pixel 8a. Every now and then I may resort, to, for instance, I would use the Pixel 7a at times, which both of these have pretty much the same cameras. But mostly it was recorded with the Pixel 8a. Plugged in a microphone into it. Audio sound really good off of it, so I can't complain. Does really good. I can tell you guys, one of the things I really enjoy about it is, just the rounded corners. I don't know, just something about it just seems really nice when you're holding it in hand. It's got a nice large size display, but the form factor of the body is small, and that's what I like with smartphones, right? Now, I know, yes, people will be like, it's got those bezels all the way around it. When I'm looking at the display, I'm immersed in what I'm looking at. I'm not looking to the edges. So bezels really don't bother me. I'm just that type of user. Maybe bezels bother you, and hey, that's entirely okay. That's why there's options in the Android world. Find something that has such very small bezels. To me, I appreciate the bezels on this phone because I get less mistouches with holding the phone, with my right here being pudgy and fat, and it can mistouch something. So I'm not overly concerned, with the bezels. The bezels don't bother me. The display is nice and vibrant. Blacks are deep and everything like that. So, resolution on this thing is it's just solid. It's just really good. I have no complaints there at all whatsoever. And like I said, the camera is actually pretty solid too. The selfie cam is pretty good. So is the main camera sensors. And yes, it does have a larger camera sensor than the Pixel 9a, which is I'm using to record this video. And it does, 64 megapixel shooter on the Pixel 8a versus the 9a's 48 megapixel sensor, which is a smaller sensor compared to the 8a's sensor. And the 8a takes very good photos. I've done videos just showing you guys what the different camera modes can do in recording video, like slow-mo and time-lapse and regular, video point and shoot, and then doing photography, right? Point and shoot photos and stuff like that. The Pixel 8a does a phenomenal job at handling all the photography and videography I would ever need done. So I have no complaints on that. And, I think the only real big caveat that I have when it comes to Pixels, and it's actually in the form that not most people would expect, that is the SIM trays. If you guys can see right here, I had to get a replacement SIM tray because the stock original one ended up breaking when I was taking out a SIM. And so those things are so flimsy that it's just coupled with my Google Fi service works out great with using just eSIM only. And so that is pretty much, what I do. I just don't like taking out the SIM SIM trays are flimsy. But other than that, I mean, it does maintain the traditional camera bar. People have come to love this camera bar. When it first debuted with the Pixel 6, hardly anyone liked it. But now a lot of people are just like, when they look at the Pixel 9a, they're like, where's the camera bar? So, as like I said, when things change, people hate change at first, but then all of a sudden it just grows on them. And so it's like, hey, you know, it works out. Aside from all that, I can tell you guys, you know, it getting 7 years of software support, and I can tell just by, like, you know, with Android 16 coming onto it, you can tell that it is future proof to handle those future coming software updates. And I can only imagine just like how good the phone is going to be throughout time, as that's one of the things I've always pointed out with Google Pixels. It's like fine wine. It just gets better over time.